Welcome to the listening room, everyone. My name is Benjamin, and today I'm going to be ranking every single song off of W.A.S.P's amazing self-titled debut album, released in 1984 on Capitol Records. This is the reissue CD, so it has a bunch of bonus tracks. I'm not going to be including Paint It Black, which is this is a bonus track on here. It's the 7-inch A-side single. At least that's what it says. I don't remember what the B-side was, but I am going to be including the two 12-inch bonus tracks. This track listing's a little different because this includes the bonus tracks, and it includes the first song on the first song on the album, Animal F Like a Beast. And so of course, it's an inappropriate song in a lot of ways, according to the people that deemed it so. It was on the Filthy 15, which was basically 15 songs that caused a whole controversy in the United States about just music and what kids are listening to and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to tell people how to raise their kids and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not necessarily going to be one to be against the kind of music. You just kind of got to pick and choose what your kids listen to, right? And they're probably still going to listen to it anyway. So, this song was deemed inappropriate for obvious reasons, but I am going to be ranking it in here, even though it was not technically the first song in the original release, because it was I Want to Be Somebody was the first song. And I'm also going to be including Show No Mercy, which is the 12th track on this reissue CD. So we'll be doing 12 tracks ranking today. As I said, this was released on August 17, 1984. And it is kind of a heavy metal, hair metal album. I don't know what you want to call them, but this is a great album if you haven't listened to it. And there's no bad songs on it at all. This is one of the best W.A.S.P albums for a reason, and it is just phenomenal. So any song that may be like at the bottom of the list for me is simply because I had to put it down there, and not because I don't like it, because this whole album's amazing. It's definitely one of my favorites. It was on Capitol Records. The band is Blackie Lawless on lead vocals and bass, Chris Holmes on lead and rhythm guitar, Randy Piper lead and rhythm guitars and backing vocals, and Tony Richards drums and backing vocals. So, obviously it's got a great lineup, and Blackie's been on every single W.A.S.P album. I don't know if everybody's been on here. Or everybody that's on this album, I don't think has been on every W.A.S.P album except for Blackie, but I could be wrong. I'm looking deeper into their catalog because they really have great stuff, and they're a very underrated band. So yeah, the original track listing was I Want to Be Somebody, Love Machine, The Flame, Bad, School Days on side 1 or A, and then side 2 had Hellion, Sleeping in the Fire on Your Knees, Tormentor, The Torture Never Stops. Obviously, this is the reissue CD, so it has Animal F Like a Beast, that's the first song, and then Show No Mercy, the B-side to Animal, to that first song. When it was released as a single, they added that one, and then they had the Paint It Black cover, which, that's not really a necessary cover in my opinion. So I'm not really going to include it in this ranking. But nonetheless, 12 studio album, or they have more than that, I think, actually. 12 songs that I'm going to rank. So my least favorite, and it's not bad in like any stretch of the imagination, is going to be The Flame. It's good. It's just not as memorable for me in terms of the rest of the album. It had to fall somewhere, and I feel bad about that. But what's interesting to me is this album, to me, is very backloaded. I love this first side, but to me, side 2 is a little bit better. Mostly, not 100%. I Want to Be Somebody comes in at number 11 for me. I don't hate the song by any stretch, and that's probably very controversial to put this legendary song that low. But compared to the rest of the album, I just like most of it better, even though it's very catchy. But I'm not the biggest fan of the chorus for some reason. Maybe it's a grower out song on the album, but it's just never been one of my favorite songs on the album for some reason. School Days hits next just because it's a little bit less memorable than the rest of the album, but it's still great. Got a good chorus, all that kind of stuff. And then we have Hellion next, which is the 7th track on the album. I should probably been saying what track this is, but it's all messed up anyway if you get the CD or original record and all that kind of stuff. It's good. I like the chorus, obviously. All these choruses are great, and it's super, like, you know, all these tracks are really good. And lyrically, I don't think all these songs are that great, but, like, almost started playing it, but it's a good pumper song. It's really great. Fist pumping metal or hair metal, whatever you want to call it. Next up, and I'm kind of going off of my notes here. It's gonna be B.A.D. Bad. It's good. This is where we're starting to get into, it's interesting how many of these, like, 2 of these songs have the B.A.D. Bad, and then it's or is that the only one? L.O.V.E. Love Machine. It's interesting because they have W.A.S.P on there. That, well, it's hard to see it there, but you can see it here where they kind of divide up the letters on there. And it's kind of up to, Blackie's said a lot of times, has said a few times what the name of the band is, but he doesn't really, I don't think they really know. I think they just kind of make it up as they go. But B.A.D. Bad is great. I really enjoy that one. When we get to after this is when everything was pretty hard to rank for me because everything's so good. The Torture Never Stops is such a great song, just heavy riffage, and it's just really enjoyable to listen to. And then we get to this one was higher up, but I over listened to it just a little bit, so it's fallen down. Love Machine. So catchy, and it's really great, and I enjoy it a lot. And I would have had it higher probably a couple weeks ago, but as I could not stop listening to that song. I could not stop listening to that song, and it's kind of dropped a little bit since, but in no way is it a bad song. Absolutely love it. Show No Mercy is really great. That is the B-side track. That is the bonus track on this CD, and it's just a phenomenal track. The singles that they released, the Animal F Like a Beast and Show No Mercy, that's a great, like, A and B single sides. Those are amazing. They did a great job with that. And I really just enjoyed that song as a whole for sure. Sleeping in the Fire is underrated. That is a really, really good song, and it's so dark and heavy, and it's just amazing how that song, it's a slower paced song, but they in no way is it bad at all. I absolutely love it. It's really, really good, and I am very pleased with the sound of it. It's just definitely great to listen to. Then you get to Tormentor, which was the final track on the original album, and it's a scorcher. It's really good, and I absolutely, that chorus is super memorable. It's just so good, and I can just hear it in my head, like all these songs, just you can hear in your head these choruses and just the riffs, and it's just so good. The band was on fire just to open their career. They did such a great job. And number 2, and this could be number 1 maybe, but it's really hard to say. But today I'm going to put it at number 2 is Animal F Like a Beast. It is just really good. And the reason I'm not saying the name of the songs because I don't want this to be a band video, but it's such a great riffin' song. Blackie's vocals are amazing throughout this whole album, and they definitely shine here. It's a really good song. Obviously, it's explicit content. You understand why, but like it definitely was controversial at the time. I don't really know if it's that really even that inappropriate nowadays and compared to what a lot of the stuff's come out, but I really do enjoy this song, listening to it, but it's definitely not one that I would recommend playing with everybody around. If you don't want people to be mad at you, potentially you just have to know your audience for sure and all that, which is fine. But my number 1 is On Your Knees. And that is such a memorable chorus. It's so heavy. It's so great. and I this one wasn't originally number 1, but when I re-listened to it, I'm just like, "Yeah, this is what I wanna hear," and this whole band's on fire, and that song just right now is my number 1, and they just killed it on that song and this whole album. It's just really, really good. And I know I kind of flew through the ranking on here, since there are 12 songs, but I would recommend listening to this. If you haven't listened to W.A.S.P, they're just really good, and this is a perfect place to start. Even at the beginning, just this is one of the best debut albums of all time, in my opinion. They just do an absolute crushing job at it. It's just so, so good, and definitely got my W.A.S.P shirt, obviously, here, so that was a cool find. I really like the shirt, and obviously I love the album so, so much. So listen to it if you haven't. It's very accessible music, in terms of 80s metal, and it's held up to this day, in my opinion, very, very well. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I will be releasing hopefully more of these rankings, and hopefully we'll have some album rankings. I'm gonna hope, if it comes in soon, do the Deep Purple Splat release, and then I have some more mail that I want to show you guys, some of the things that I picked up lately. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.